One thing we have to keep in mind when we're talking about the reliability of the Gospels is the element of oral tradition.
Yeah, in antiquity and in some cultures still to this very day, the oral tradition is the norm. We don't think that way. We have to write something down. You know, we ask somebody for a phone number and he starts to rattle off. We say, wait, let me get a pen. Nobody can remember anything, it seems, to us in our modern world. But that's not the way it was in antiquity, nor is it that way in lots of parts of the world.
In an oral culture, when people committed large amounts of epic stories to memory, Greek school children often had Homer's Iliad or Odyssey, 100,000 words roughly each, committed to memory. Jewish school children often had the Hebrew Scriptures 4 times as long as the entire New Testament, or large portions of it committed to memory. To be able to remember the amount of material contained in one gospel and write it down within one generation, or maybe 1.5 at the most, pardon the pun, would quite literally have been child's play.
The family history or the nation's history or the village history was preserved orally. And of course there was a collectivity, there was a whole village, a whole group, and you can only wander, you know, you can adjust some details a little bit, but you can't get too far off the main storyline without people jumping on and saying, hold on, wait a minute, that didn't happen, this happened, and then that happened. And so there's this natural control over the tradition. But keep in mind, the Jesus story and his actual teaching is just several hundred verses of material. It's not a huge amount of material. And so it's not difficult to memorize the whole of it, to recite a very limited number of stories. On one occasion he enters this village, or one occasion he's somewhere else and a blind man comes to him, or he meets a Pharisee who asks him a question. It's not hard to commit the whole of the Jesus story to memory, and individuals did, and they cite it from memory. And so you have the smallness of the tradition. In that sense, it's manageable and easily memorized, but also the fact that it's communities. Jesus didn't have one disciple who was then trying to remember everything Jesus taught. He had a dozen close disciples, and beyond them were other disciples as well, 100 plus actually. And so you've got a living library, a living tape recorder, as it were, that retains his teaching. It's when this living generation is passing away that you have it committed to writing.